Mind Unlocked, the ultimate guide to understanding anyone. Introduction. Have you ever wondered what makes people tick? Why they say one thing, but act another? What if you could truly understand others beneath the surface? This book will teach you just that. Understanding others isn't just a skill. It's a powerful tool for building deeper relationships and fostering genuine connections. Whether in your personal life, at work, or in social settings, the ability to understand people can transform how you communicate and how you relate to the world around you. In the chapters ahead, we'll explore the science of human behavior, the art of listening, and the secrets behind body language. We'll unlock the power of emotional intelligence, dive into cultural influences, and provide tools to break down communication barriers. You'll discover how to read people, understand their true feelings, and respond in a way that builds trust and rapport. By the end of this journey, you'll not only understand others better, you'll understand yourself better too. And with that understanding, you'll be equipped to create more meaningful, fulfilling connections wherever you go. So, are you ready to unlock the mind and start seeing the world and the people in it in a whole new way? Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The Power of Understanding. Understanding others is a skill that often gets overlooked, yet it is one of the most powerful tools we can develop in our lives. In this chapter, we will explore the true power of understanding and why it's crucial to fostering deeper, more meaningful relationships. You will learn how mastering this skill can change the way you communicate, relate to others, and ultimately navigate the world around you. Why understanding matters. Think about a time when you had a conversation that felt deeply meaningful. Perhaps it was with a close friend, a colleague, or a stranger who offered you advice. What made that conversation special? It wasn't just the words that were spoken, it was the connection. Understanding goes beyond mere conversation. It's about knowing what people really mean, even when their words don't fully capture their thoughts or emotions. When you truly understand someone, you are able to relate to them on a deeper level. You see beyond the surface, past the words they say, and connect with their feelings, motivations, and struggles. This type of understanding creates trust, empathy, and connection, which are the building blocks of any strong relationship. The power of understanding is not just in knowing what others think, but also in creating a safe space for people to be themselves. When people feel understood, they are more likely to open up, share their true thoughts, and engage in honest communication. And that's where the real magic happens. The role of perception. Before we dive deeper, it's important to understand how perception plays a role in our ability to understand others. Perception is the lens through which we view the world. It's shaped by our experiences, beliefs, and values. When we interact with others, we don't just see them as they are, we see them through the lens of our own perceptions. For example, imagine you are in a meeting, and one of your colleagues presents an idea that doesn't seem to resonate with the group. You might immediately think, that idea is just impractical, without fully understanding their reasoning. This response comes from your perception, shaped by your knowledge and experiences. However, when you take the time to truly understand someone's point of view, you shift from seeing things through your own lens to seeing things through theirs. Instead of dismissing the idea, you may begin to see its value. This is the first step in becoming more understanding, recognizing that our perceptions are not always accurate, and that we must make an effort to understand before forming judgments. How understanding enhances communication. Effective communication isn't just about talking, it's about listening. And listening isn't just about hearing words, it's about understanding. When you take the time to listen, you show respect for the speaker's perspective, and you create a connection that goes beyond words. One real-world example of this comes from the workplace. Imagine you're a manager having a one-on-one conversation with an employee. The employee shares a concern about a project. If you only hear the words, you may miss the underlying emotions, stress, frustration, or even a lack of confidence. But if you listen with understanding, you can pick up on these emotions and respond in a way that addresses not just the concern, but also the feelings behind it. This kind of communication leads to better problem solving, stronger teamwork, and a greater sense of trust and respect. When people feel understood, they are more likely to share their thoughts openly, leading to more productive and collaborative interactions. The science of understanding. Understanding is not just an emotional skill, it has a scientific basis as well. Research in psychology and neuroscience has shown that our brains are wired for empathy and connection. When we understand someone, our brains release oxytocin, the hormone associated with bonding and trust. This chemical response helps us form strong, positive connections with others. On the other hand, when we don't understand someone, or when we feel misunderstood, it can lead to feelings of isolation, frustration, and even anger. Our brains become stressed, and the connection between people weakens. This is why it's so important to invest in understanding others. It doesn't just benefit the relationship, it benefits our mental and emotional well-being as well. The ripple effect of understanding. One of the most powerful aspects of understanding is its ripple effect. When you understand someone, it often inspires them to understand others in return. This creates a cycle of understanding, where one act of empathy and connection leads to more acts of understanding in the community or workplace. For example, consider a leader who listens to their team's concerns and takes action to address them. This demonstrates understanding and inspires others to do the same. As a result, the entire team feels more connected, valued, and motivated to work together towards common goals. Understanding has the potential to create a positive feedback loop. It can transform not just individual relationships, but entire environments, whether in families, workplaces, or communities. When we make the effort to understand, we create a culture of empathy, trust, and cooperation. The challenges of understanding. While understanding is a powerful skill, it's not always easy to achieve. There are many factors that can get in the way, including our biases, emotions, and the fast-paced nature of modern life. In our rush to get things done, or to prove our own point, we may overlook the importance of truly understanding others. Additionally, some people may not be as open or as easy to understand. They may have different communication styles, cultural backgrounds, or personal experiences that make it more challenging to connect with them. However, this challenge doesn't mean we should give up. It simply means we need to put more effort into being patient, asking questions, and listening actively. Actionable insights. So, how can we develop the power of understanding? Here are a few simple yet effective ways to start. Practice active listening. The first step in understanding is to truly listen. Focus on what the other person is saying, without interrupting or forming responses in your mind while they are speaking. Give them your full attention. Ask open-ended questions. Instead of jumping to conclusions, ask questions that encourage the other person to share more. This not only helps you understand them better, but it also shows that you care about their perspective. Empathize. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. Try to imagine what they might be feeling or thinking, and respond with empathy. This creates a deeper connection and helps you understand their true feelings. Be patient. Sometimes, understanding takes time. Don't rush the process. Allow people to express themselves fully, and take the time to process their words before responding. Reflect on your own perceptions. Take a step back and examine your own biases and assumptions. Recognize that your perceptions may not always be accurate, and be open to seeing things from a different perspective. Conclusion. Understanding is a powerful tool that can transform the way we interact with the world. It creates deeper connections, fosters trust, and leads to more meaningful relationships. While it's not always easy, the effort is worth it. By practicing active listening, empathy, and reflection, we can unlock the power of understanding and make a positive impact on the lives of others and our own. As we move forward in this book, we'll explore the different aspects of understanding, from body language and personality, to emotional intelligence and cultural awareness. But it all starts here, with the recognition that understanding is not just a skill, it's a way of life, and by mastering it, you'll unlock a whole new world of connection and possibility. Chapter 2. The Basics of Human Behavior. Human behavior is both complex and fascinating. Every action, every word, every gesture we make carries meaning. Understanding human behavior is the foundation for connecting with others, whether in personal relationships or in professional settings. In this chapter, we will dive into the basics of human behavior, exploring the internal and external factors that shape how we act, think, and interact with the world around us. What shapes human behavior? Human behavior is influenced by a variety of factors, both internal and external. Let's start by looking at some of the most important influences on behavior. 1. Biological influences. At the core, our biology plays a significant role in shaping who we are and how we behave. Our brain, hormones, and nervous system all contribute to how we react to situations, make decisions, and interact with others. For example, the release of dopamine in the brain makes us feel good when we achieve something or experience pleasure. This is why positive reinforcement works so well in motivating us. On the other hand, the stress hormone cortisol can make us anxious or defensive when we feel threatened, influencing our reactions in tense situations. In addition, our genetic makeup can influence behavior. For instance, some people may be naturally more outgoing, while others might be more introverted due to genetic factors. Understanding these biological influences helps us recognize why people act the way they do, even when they might seem unpredictable or confusing. 2. Psychological influences. Beyond biology, our mental state, experiences, and emotions play a major role in shaping our behavior. Our thoughts, beliefs, and past experiences form the foundation for how we interpret the world around us. Cognitive processes like perception, memory, and decision-making guide our behavior. For example, if someone believes they are not good enough, they may act in ways that reinforce that belief, avoiding challenges, withdrawing from social situations, or feeling insecure. Similarly, emotions are powerful drivers of behavior. Fear, love, joy, anger, and sadness can all push us to act in specific ways. When someone is angry, they may lash out, while someone who is happy might be more open and social. Recognizing the psychological factors at play helps us understand why people react the way they do in different situations. 3. Social and environmental influences. Human behavior is not just shaped by biology and psychology, it's also deeply influenced by the people around us and the environment we live in. Social factors such as family, culture, and peer groups shape how we think and behave. For example, cultural norms dictate what is considered appropriate behavior in different societies. In some cultures, it's customary to be very direct, while in others, indirect communication is preferred. Peer pressure can also influence behavior, especially in adolescence, where individuals may change their behavior to fit in with a group. The environment also has a powerful impact. Consider how people behave in different settings, at work, at home, or in public spaces. The expectations and rules of these environments can shape how people act. In a professional environment, people may behave more formally, while at home, they may be more relaxed and informal. Types of human behavior. Understanding the types of human behavior can give us deeper insights into why people act the way they do. There are several categories of behavior, each with its own unique characteristics. 1. Instinctual behavior. Instinctual behavior is behavior that is driven by innate instincts or biological urges. These are actions we are born with and are often necessary for survival. For example, babies instinctively know how to suckle, and animals display instinctual behaviors like migration or hunting. In humans, Instinctual behavior includes things like fight or flight responses, basic needs like hunger and thirst, and the desire for safety and comfort. These behaviors are automatic and do not require conscious thought. They are fundamental to our survival and our ability to navigate the world. 2. Learned behavior. Unlike instinctual behavior, learned behavior is not something we are born with. It is behavior that we acquire through experience, observation, and interaction with others. For instance, a child learns to speak by hearing others around them speak. A person may also learn specific behaviors from cultural practices, family traditions, or schooling. Learned behavior can be positive, such as learning to be polite and respectful, or negative, like developing bad habits or prejudices. The key to understanding learned behavior is recognizing that it is shaped by past experiences and can be changed over time. 3. Conscious and unconscious behavior. Not all behaviors are consciously controlled. Some are automatic or unconscious. For instance, when you walk, you don't have to consciously think about each step. Your body knows what to do. Similarly, when you react to a stressful situation, your body may automatically respond with a fight or flight reaction, even before your mind has had time to process the situation. On the other hand, conscious behavior is intentional and driven by our thoughts and decisions. If you choose to start a new habit, like exercising every day, that's a conscious behavior. The more aware we become of our unconscious behaviors, the more control we can gain over them, allowing us to make better decisions in the future. 4. Pro-social and anti-social behavior. Pro-social behavior is any action intended to benefit others. Acts of kindness, such as helping a friend move or donating to charity, are examples of pro-social behavior. These behaviors are often driven by empathy, a desire to help, or a sense of duty. On the other hand, anti-social behavior refers to actions that harm or lack consideration for others. This could range from being rude to outright criminal actions. Understanding anti-social behavior can help us identify underlying issues, such as frustration, lack of empathy, or personal struggles, that may be driving someone to act in harmful ways. Theories of human behavior. Psychologists have developed several theories to explain human behavior. These theories provide frameworks for understanding why people act the way they do and how we can better interact with them. 1. Theories of motivation. Motivation is a key driver of human behavior. One of the most well-known theories is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which suggests that humans have a set of needs that must be fulfilled in a specific order. At the base of the hierarchy are basic needs like food, water, and shelter. Once these are met, individuals seek to fulfill higher-level needs, such as safety, love, esteem, and self-actualization. Another important theory is self-determination theory, which focuses on intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation comes from within, doing something because it's enjoyable or fulfilling. Extrinsic motivation is driven by external rewards or pressures, like working for money or recognition. 2. Social learning theory. Social learning theory, proposed by Albert Bandura, suggests that people learn behaviors by observing others. This theory emphasizes the role of modeling in learning new behaviors. We are influenced by the actions of those around us, especially those we admire or respect. This is why people often imitate behaviors seen in media or within their communities. Understanding social learning theory helps us recognize the impact our actions have on others, especially children and peers who are watching and learning from us. Understanding behavior in everyday life. Now that we've covered the basics of human behavior, let's talk about how to apply this knowledge in everyday life. Understanding behavior is not just about theory. It's about being able to observe and interpret actions, making connections, and building stronger relationships. In your personal life, understanding the behavior of friends, family, and colleagues can help you communicate more effectively, resolve conflicts, and build trust. In the workplace, Recognizing the behavior patterns of coworkers can help you work more productively as a team. The key is to remain curious and open-minded. By paying attention to the behaviors around you and considering the factors that may be influencing them, you will develop a deeper understanding of those around you. Conclusion: human behavior is complex, but it is also predictable once we understand the factors that shape it. By recognizing the biological, psychological, and social influences on behavior, we can begin to decode the actions of others and improve our own interactions. The more we understand about human behavior, the better equipped we are to create meaningful, lasting connections with those around us. In the next chapter, we will explore how body language plays a crucial role in communication and understanding. But for now, remember that by taking the time to understand the basics of human behavior, you are already one step closer to unlocking the true potential of human connection. Chapter 3. Recognizing body language. Words are powerful, but sometimes the most significant messages we send and receive don't come from our mouths. They come from our bodies. In fact, research suggests that nonverbal communication, which includes body language, accounts for over 70% of the meaning we convey during interactions. Understanding body language is crucial for building deeper connections, interpreting emotions, and improving communication. In this chapter, we will explore the importance of body language, how to recognize its various cues, and how you can use it to understand people better. The importance of body language. Body language serves as a silent conversation. It can reveal someone's true feelings, intentions, and state of mind, even when their words say otherwise. For example, a person may verbally agree with you, but their crossed arms or lack of eye contact might suggest they are not truly on board with what you're saying. By paying attention to body language, you gain valuable insights into the emotions and thoughts that might not be expressed verbally. One of the most important things to remember is that body language is not always universal. Some gestures or postures may have different meanings across cultures. However, there are certain universal body language cues that are generally consistent worldwide, which can be useful for understanding people in a variety of settings. The basics of body language. Let's start with some of the most common body language cues and what they typically indicate. 1. Facial expressions. The face is the most expressive part of the body. Our emotions are often reflected in our facial expressions, and these expressions are one of the most accurate indicators of how we feel. A smile can indicate happiness or friendliness, while a frown can signal confusion or sadness. The key to reading facial expressions is noticing subtle changes. Raised eyebrows may indicate surprise or interest, while squinted eyes can suggest suspicion or doubt. If someone is avoiding eye contact or has a tense jaw, they may be feeling anxious or uncomfortable. 2. Eye contact. Eye contact is a powerful form of communication. It can show interest, attentiveness, and respect, but it can also signal discomfort, dishonesty, or aggression, depending on the context. When someone maintains steady eye contact during a conversation, it typically indicates they are engaged and interested. On the other hand, avoiding eye contact may suggest shyness, insecurity, or even a desire to hide something. However, excessive eye contact can sometimes be perceived as threatening or confrontational, so it's important to find the right balance. 3. Posture. How someone stands or sits can reveal a lot about their mood, energy levels, and confidence. People who sit up straight with their shoulders back typically appear confident, open, and assertive. Slouched posture, on the other hand, can signal insecurity, tiredness, or discomfort. In a social setting, open posture, arms relaxed at the sides or hands visible, suggests that a person is approachable and comfortable. In contrast, crossed arms often signal defensiveness, resistance, or a lack of engagement. Pay attention to how people position their bodies, as it can indicate their comfort level and willingness to communicate. 4. Gestures. Gestures can emphasize or complement what someone is saying. They can express emotions, underline points, or convey specific meanings. For example, nodding while listening is a common gesture of agreement or encouragement, while shaking the head indicates disagreement or disapproval. However, not all gestures are universally understood. A thumbs up may indicate approval in some cultures, but in others, it can be offensive. It's important to consider the context and the person's cultural background when interpreting gestures. Some gestures are involuntary and can be even more telling than the conscious gestures we make. A person may scratch their neck or touch their face when they're feeling nervous or unsure. These small subconscious movements can be key indicators of someone's true emotional state. 5. Proxemics. Personal space. Proxemics refers to the use of personal space and how we position ourselves in relation to others. Our comfort with space can indicate our relationship with the person we're interacting with and our feelings toward them. In general, people prefer more personal space with strangers or acquaintances, while they feel comfortable with less personal space among close friends or family. Someone standing too close may be seen as intrusive or overly aggressive, while someone who maintains too much distance might come off as distant or uninterested. Understanding the cultural norms surrounding personal space is also important. For example, in some cultures, physical closeness during conversation is common, while in others more space is maintained. Decoding the body language of others. Now that we have covered some of the basic cues, let's look at how to put them together to decode the body language of others. 1. Congruence between words and actions. One of the most important things to look for when interpreting body language is congruence. Do the person's words match their body language? If someone says they're fine, but their shoulders are hunched, their face is tense, and their arms are crossed, it may indicate that they are not as comfortable as they claim to be. When words and body language don't match, it's often a sign that the person is hiding something or not being fully honest. Being aware of this discrepancy allows you to approach the conversation with more awareness and sensitivity. 2. Context matters. It's essential to consider the context in which the body language occurs. For example, if someone is crossing their arms during a meeting, they may be cold or simply need support for their posture. However, if the same gesture is used during a heated argument, it could signal defensiveness or disagreement. The situation can heavily influence body language, so be mindful of the surrounding environment and the person's emotional state at the time. Context can help you determine whether a gesture or posture is a true reflection of their feelings or a temporary reaction to the situation. 3. Micro-expressions. Micro-expressions are brief, involuntary facial expressions that reveal true emotions. They occur within a fraction of a second, making them difficult to spot, but they can offer valuable insights into a person's feelings. For example, a quick flash of anger on someone's face, followed by a neutral expression, may indicate that they are suppressing their frustration. Learning to recognize these fleeting expressions can help you gain a deeper understanding of how someone feels, even when they are trying to hide it. Using body language to improve communication. Understanding body language isn't just about reading others, it's also about improving your own nonverbal communication. The way you carry yourself, the gestures you use, and the space you maintain can significantly affect how others perceive you. Here are a few tips for using body language to communicate more effectively. Be mindful of your posture. Maintain open, relaxed posture to signal confidence and approachability. Stand tall with your shoulders back, and avoid crossing your arms or slouching, as it can make you appear closed off or uninterested. Use gestures to emphasize points. Subtle gestures, such as nodding in agreement, or using your hands to emphasize key points, can make you appear more engaged and authentic in a conversation. Make eye contact. Proper eye contact shows that you are paying attention and interested in the conversation. However, avoid staring, as it can be perceived as intimidating. A good rule of thumb is to maintain eye contact for about 50% of the conversation. Respect personal space. Pay attention to the amount of space others need. If you notice someone stepping back or maintaining distance, respect their boundaries. Conversely, if someone is leaning in, they may be open to closer interaction. Match your words with your actions. Ensure that your body language aligns with what you are saying. If you are excited about an idea, your body should reflect that enthusiasm, whether through energetic gestures or a warm tone of voice. Conclusion. Body language is a powerful and often underappreciated form of communication. By learning to recognize and interpret body language cues, you can gain valuable insights into how others are feeling and what they are thinking. Being mindful of body language not only helps you understand others more deeply, but also enhances your ability to communicate effectively, build trust, and connect with people on a more meaningful level. In the next chapter, we will explore the art of listening and how it plays a key role in improving communication and building understanding. But for now, remember that body language speaks volumes, and by paying attention to it you can unlock a deeper level of connection with those around you. Chapter 4. The Art of Listening. Listening is often taken for granted. Most of us think we know how to listen. We hear people talk, and we respond. But there's a difference between hearing and truly listening. In fact, listening is an art, one that requires attention, empathy, and practice. Mastering this skill can improve your relationships, enhance your understanding of others, and create stronger connections. In this chapter, we will explore the art of listening, what it means, why it's so important, and how to become a better listener. The difference between hearing and listening. Hearing is passive. It's the physical process of perceiving sound through our ears. We hear traffic, music, or the hum of a refrigerator, without consciously focusing on those sounds. But listening is an active process. It requires concentration, understanding, and an effort to interpret the message someone is trying to convey. When we listen, we make an effort to focus on what the other person is saying, to understand their words and the meaning behind them, and to respond thoughtfully. Effective listening involves more than just receiving information. It requires engaging with the speaker, interpreting their message, and processing their emotions. Why listening matters. Listening is the foundation of good communication. When you listen, you show respect for the speaker, validate their feelings, and create a space for meaningful conversation. Good listeners are able to understand not just the words being said, but the emotions, intentions, and ideas behind those words. When we don't listen, we miss opportunities to connect, to empathize, and to understand. We may misunderstand the speaker's needs, make assumptions, or offer solutions that aren't relevant. Effective listening, on the other hand, fosters understanding, reduces conflict, and strengthens relationships. The components of active listening. Active listening is a key component of effective listening. It's the practice of being fully engaged in a conversation, demonstrating interest, and responding in ways that show you are focused on the speaker. Let's break down the main components of active listening. 1. Paying attention. The first step in active listening is giving the speaker your undivided attention. This means putting aside distractions, like your phone or your thoughts, and focusing entirely on the person speaking. It's important to make eye contact, lean in slightly, and show that you're present in the moment. Sometimes, we listen with the intent to respond rather than to understand. We start forming our reply before the speaker has finished, which prevents us from truly hearing their message. Paying attention means silencing any internal chatter and letting the speaker finish their thoughts without interruption. 2. Show that you're listening. Your body language plays an important role in showing that you are engaged. Nodding occasionally, maintaining eye contact, and using facial expressions that reflect understanding all signal that you are actively listening. These small gestures create a connection and reassure the speaker that their message is being heard. Also, avoid interrupting or jumping in too quickly with your own thoughts. Allow pauses in the conversation, as this gives the speaker space to reflect or expand on their point. 3. Reflecting and paraphrasing. One of the most effective ways to show that you are listening is to reflect back what the speaker has said. This can be done by paraphrasing their message. For example, if someone says, "I'm really stressed about work right now," you might respond with, "It sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed by your job." This not only confirms that you understand, but also gives the speaker the opportunity to clarify if needed. Reflection also shows empathy. When you repeat or rephrase what the speaker has said, you acknowledge their emotions and create an environment where they feel understood. 4. Asking clarifying questions. Sometimes, we may not fully understand what the speaker is saying. Instead of assuming or guessing, it's better to ask clarifying questions. Questions like, "Can you tell me more about that?" or "What do you mean by that?" help you gain a deeper understanding of the speaker's thoughts and feelings. Asking questions also shows that you are genuinely interested in the conversation and want to understand their perspective more clearly. 5. Avoiding judgment. Effective listening involves withholding judgment while the speaker is talking. Avoid making snap judgments or offering advice right away. Instead, focus on understanding their perspective first. Judgmental responses can shut down communication and make the speaker feel invalidated. Sometimes, people just want to be heard. They don't always need solutions. By listening without judgment, you allow the speaker to feel safe in expressing themselves and feel heard in a non-threatening environment. The power of empathy in listening. Empathy is at the heart of good listening. It's the ability to put yourself in the speaker's shoes and understand their emotions, even if you've never experienced their situation yourself. Empathetic listening goes beyond hearing words. It involves understanding the emotions behind those words and responding in a way that shows you care. For example, if someone shares that they've lost a loved one, responding with, "I can't imagine what you're going through, but I'm here for you," shows empathy. It acknowledges their pain and offers comfort without dismissing their feelings or offering solutions prematurely. Empathetic listening helps you connect with others on a deeper level. It builds trust, strengthens relationships, and encourages open, honest communication. Common listening barriers. While listening may seem simple, several barriers can get in the way of effective communication. These barriers can prevent us from truly understanding what someone is saying, leading to misunderstandings or misinterpretations. Here are some common barriers to listening. 1. Distractions. Distractions are one of the biggest obstacles to good listening. External distractions, such as background noise or technology, can take your attention away from the conversation. Internal distractions, like stress or preoccupation with your own thoughts, can also make it difficult to focus on the speaker. To overcome distractions, try to eliminate or reduce them before the conversation starts. If you're in a noisy environment, consider moving to a quieter space, or make a mental note to focus entirely on the conversation. 2. Preconceived notions. Sometimes, we enter a conversation with preconceived notions about what the speaker is going to say. These assumptions can cloud our ability to listen actively and can lead to miscommunication. Instead, try to approach each conversation with an open mind, focusing on what the speaker is actually saying, not what you expect them to say. 3. Emotional reactions. Strong emotions, whether positive or negative, can interfere with our ability to listen objectively. If we feel defensive or angry during a conversation, we might stop listening and begin focusing on our own emotions instead of the speaker's. In these situations, it's important to take a step back, breathe, and allow yourself to calm down before responding. 4. Rushing to respond. Many people rush to respond in a conversation, especially when they feel they have something valuable to say. However, this can interrupt the flow of communication and prevent you from truly listening. Practice pausing before responding to give the speaker the time they need to express themselves fully. The benefits of good listening. Becoming a skilled listener offers numerous benefits in both personal and professional settings. Here are some of the key advantages. Stronger relationships. When you listen actively, you build trust and intimacy with others, leading to deeper and more meaningful connections. Better problem solving. By listening attentively, you gain a better understanding of the problem or issue at hand, making it easier to find effective solutions. Reduced misunderstandings. Listening carefully helps you grasp the true meaning behind what someone is saying, reducing the likelihood of miscommunication or conflict. Increased influence. People are more likely to listen to and value your opinions when they feel heard and understood. Good listening can also help you persuade and influence others in a respectful, empathetic manner. Conclusion. Listening is more than just a skill. It's an art that can transform your communication and strengthen your relationships. By practicing active listening, being empathetic, and overcoming common barriers, you can become a more effective communicator and build deeper, more meaningful connections with those around you. In the next chapter, we will delve into understanding personality types and how recognizing different personalities can help improve communication. But for now, remember that listening is not just about hearing words, it's about understanding the person behind the words and creating a space where both people can connect and communicate openly. Chapter 5. Understanding Personality Types. Every person is unique. We each have our own set of traits, habits, and tendencies that shape how we think, feel, and act. Understanding personality types can help us connect with others more effectively, foster stronger relationships, and navigate social and professional environments with greater ease. In this chapter, we will explore the concept of personality types, why they matter, and how understanding different personality types can improve communication and deepen our understanding of others. What are personality types? Personality refers to the combination of characteristics or qualities that form an individual's distinctive character. It encompasses a wide range of attributes, including how we think, how we behave, how we interact with others, and how we approach the world. Some people are naturally outgoing, while others are more introverted. Some are highly logical and analytical, while others rely more on their emotions and intuition. Psychologists have developed several frameworks to categorize and understand these differences in personality. These models provide a useful way to group people into categories based on shared traits or behaviors. Understanding these personality types can give us insight into how different individuals think, feel, and act, which can improve our ability to relate to them and communicate effectively. Popular personality frameworks. Several personality models have been developed over the years. Some are widely used in psychology and business to understand and analyze human behavior. Let's explore a few of the most popular ones. 1. The Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, MBTI. The Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, MBTI, is one of the most well-known personality assessments. Based on Carl Jung's theory of psychological types, MBTI categorizes people into 16 different personality types, based on 4 dichotomies: extroversion E versus introversion I. This scale reflects where people focus their energy. Extroverts are energized by social interaction, while introverts prefer solitude and reflection. Sensing S versus intuition. This scale describes how people process information. Sensors focus on facts and details, while intuitives look for patterns and possibilities. Thinking T versus feeling F. This scale reflects decision-making preferences. Thinkers rely on logic and objectivity, while feelers make decisions based on personal values and emotions. Judging J versus perceiving T. This scale reflects how people interact with the world. Judgers prefer structure and planning, while perceivers are more flexible and spontaneous. Each person is categorized by a 4-letter type, such as INFP, ESTJ, or ENTJ. Understanding someone's MBTI type can help you understand their preferences and communication style, making it easier to relate to them and work together effectively. 2. The Big 5 Personality Traits, 5-Factor Model. The Big 5 Personality Traits, also known as the 5-Factor Model, FFM, is another widely used framework. This model suggests that there are 5 broad dimensions of personality. Openness to experience. This trait reflects how open-minded and curious a person is. People who score high in openness are imaginative, creative, and enjoy trying new things. Those who score low are more conventional and prefer routine. Conscientiousness. This trait reflects how organized, reliable, and goal-oriented a person is. People high in conscientiousness are disciplined and tend to plan ahead. Those low in conscientiousness may be more spontaneous or disorganized. Extroversion. This trait reflects how outgoing and energetic a person is. Extroverts are social, talkative, and thrive in stimulating environments. Introverts, on the other hand, are more reserved and prefer solitude. Agreeableness. This trait reflects how cooperative, empathetic, and considerate a person is. Highly agreeable people are friendly and enjoy helping others, while less agreeable individuals may be more competitive or skeptical. Neuroticism. This trait reflects how emotional and prone to stress a person is. People high in neuroticism may experience anxiety, mood swings, and emotional instability, while those low in neuroticism are more calm and resilient under pressure. The Big 5 model offers a more comprehensive understanding of personality, with each trait representing a spectrum rather than a binary classification. 3. The Enneagram. The Enneagram is another popular personality system, consisting of 9 different personality types. Each type is based on core motivations, fears, and desires. The Enneagram also includes levels of development, showing how a person may behave under stress, or when they are thriving. The 9 types are the Reformer, driven by the desire to be good and do things the right way. The Helper, focused on being loved and needed by others. The Achiever, motivated by success and the desire to be admired. The Individualist, driven by the need to express their individuality and emotions. The Investigator, focused on knowledge and understanding the world around them. The Loyalist, motivated by the need for security and safety. The Enthusiast, driven by a desire for fun, adventure, and new experiences. The Challenger, motivated by the need to be strong and in control. The Peacemaker, focused on maintaining peace and harmony. The Enneagram system is particularly useful for understanding the underlying motivations and fears that drive a person's behavior, making it a powerful tool for personal growth and relationship building. How to use personality types to improve communication. Understanding personality types can enhance your communication by helping you tailor your approach to different individuals. Here's how you can use the knowledge of personality types to communicate more effectively. 1. Adapt to different communication styles. People with different personality types have different communication preferences. For example, an extroverted person may enjoy lively conversations and may prefer to talk through their ideas, while an introverted person may appreciate quiet reflection and may prefer written communication. By understanding these differences, you can adjust your communication style to be more effective. For example, if you're working with someone who has a thinking preference from the MBTI, they may appreciate logical arguments and clear, concise information. A person with a feeling preference, on the other hand, may appreciate empathy and emotional consideration. Tailoring your communication to their preferences can help foster a deeper connection and reduce misunderstandings. 2. Avoid misunderstandings. Personality differences can lead to misunderstandings if we don't take the time to understand where others are coming from. For example, someone with a judging preference may appear rigid or inflexible to a perceiving type, who values spontaneity and flexibility. Conversely, a perceiving person may appear disorganized or indecisive to a judging type, who prefers structure and plans. By recognizing these differences, you can approach conversations with more empathy and avoid making assumptions about others' behavior. 3. Leverage strengths. Each personality type brings its own strengths to the table. Extroverts tend to be great at starting conversations and building relationships, while introverts are often excellent listeners and deep thinkers. By understanding and appreciating the strengths of different personality types, you can leverage these qualities to improve teamwork and collaboration. For example, if you're working on a project with someone who is high in conscientiousness, you can rely on them to keep the team organized and on track. Meanwhile, someone with high openness may offer creative ideas and innovative solutions to problems. Recognizing personality types in real life. One of the key benefits of understanding personality types is that it helps you recognize these patterns in real life. When you observe the way people behave, communicate, and make decisions, you can start to identify which personality traits are influencing their actions. This awareness allows you to adjust your approach, communicate more effectively, and avoid unnecessary conflict. For example, if you're speaking with someone who is more reserved, you may choose to ask open-ended questions to encourage them to share more. On the other hand, if you're working with someone who thrives on excitement and novelty, you might bring up new ideas or opportunities for growth. Conclusion. Understanding personality types is a powerful tool for improving communication, building stronger relationships, and navigating social and professional environments. Whether you use the Myers-Briggs type indicator, the Big Five personality traits, or the Enneagram, recognizing the diversity of human personalities allows you to appreciate the strengths and differences that make each person unique. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into the role of empathy in understanding people. But for now, remember that understanding personality types is not about labeling people. It's about appreciating their uniqueness and adapting your approach to communicate more effectively with those around you. Chapter 6. The role of empathy. Empathy is one of the most powerful tools for connecting with others. It's the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. When we empathize, we don't just listen to someone's words, we feel their emotions, see the world through their eyes, and respond in a way that shows we care. Empathy can transform the way we interact with others, creating stronger bonds and deeper relationships. In this chapter, we will explore the role of empathy in understanding people, why it's so essential, and how we can cultivate this powerful skill to improve our connections with others. What is empathy? At its core, empathy is the ability to feel what others feel. It goes beyond sympathy, which is simply feeling sorry for someone's situation. Empathy is about actively putting yourself in another person's shoes, experiencing their emotions, understanding their perspective, and responding with care and compassion. There are two main types of empathy: cognitive empathy and emotional empathy. 1. Cognitive empathy. Cognitive empathy is the ability to understand another person's thoughts and perspective. It's about grasping what someone is thinking or feeling, without necessarily feeling it yourself. Cognitive empathy helps you understand why people do what they do, even if you don't share the same emotions or experiences. This type of empathy is often used in problem solving and conflict resolution, as it helps you put yourself in the other person's position and see the situation from their viewpoint. For example, if a colleague is frustrated about a work issue, cognitive empathy allows you to understand the reasons behind their frustration, even if you don't feel frustrated yourself. 2. Emotional empathy. Emotional empathy, on the other hand, is the ability to feel another person's emotions as though they were your own. It's about emotionally resonating with others, sharing their joy, sadness, or frustration. This kind of empathy helps you connect on a deeper, more emotional level with people, allowing you to build stronger relationships based on genuine understanding. For instance, when a friend shares their struggles, emotional empathy allows you to feel their pain, providing comfort and support that goes beyond words. Why empathy matters. Empathy plays a critical role in fostering positive relationships, whether personal or professional. Here's why empathy is so important. 1. Building stronger connections. Empathy helps create bonds between people. When you show that you understand and care about someone's emotions, it builds trust and creates a sense of connection. People are more likely to open up to you when they feel heard and understood. In relationships, whether romantic, familial, or platonic, empathy is key to nurturing a deep emotional connection. When you demonstrate empathy, you signal to others that they matter to you. This fosters mutual respect and understanding, leading to stronger, more fulfilling relationships. 2. Reducing conflict. When people feel understood, they are less likely to become defensive or combative. Empathy allows you to respond to others with compassion rather than judgment, which helps prevent conflict from escalating. By recognizing and validating someone's feelings, you create a safe space where open communication can take place, and misunderstandings can be resolved more easily. Empathy also helps us regulate our own emotional responses. Instead of reacting impulsively or negatively, we can approach a situation with a calm and understanding mindset, leading to more constructive discussions and resolutions. 3. Enhancing communication. Empathy improves communication by allowing us to listen actively and respond thoughtfully. When we empathize, we're not just hearing words, we're tuning into emotions, body language, and unspoken messages. This helps us better interpret what others are trying to communicate, even if they're not explicitly saying it. Moreover, when we express empathy, our words become more meaningful and supportive. Instead of offering a quick solution or brushing someone off, empathetic responses show that we truly care about their feelings and perspectives. 4. Promoting emotional well-being. Empathy can also have a profound impact on our own emotional well-being. When we empathize with others, we experience a sense of fulfillment and purpose. Helping others feel heard and understood is deeply rewarding and creates positive emotions for both the giver and the receiver. Additionally, when people feel understood, it can reduce their emotional distress. By empathizing with someone, we provide comfort and validation, which can be soothing and healing, especially during difficult times. How to cultivate empathy. While empathy may come naturally to some, it is a skill that anyone can develop with practice. Here are several ways to cultivate empathy and improve your ability to connect with others. 1. Listen without judgment. The first step in practicing empathy is to listen carefully and without judgment. When someone shares their feelings or experiences, resist the urge to immediately offer advice, solve their problems, or make assumptions about their emotions. Instead, focus on truly understanding what they are going through. Use active listening techniques, such as maintaining eye contact, nodding, and paraphrasing their words, to show that you are fully engaged in the conversation. Create a space where they feel comfortable sharing their emotions without fear of judgment or criticism. 2. Be present in the moment. Empathy requires us to be present and fully engaged with the person we're listening to. This means putting aside distractions, like checking your phone or thinking about your own problems, and giving your full attention to the speaker. Being present shows that you value the other person's feelings and are genuinely interested in understanding their experience. When we're distracted or preoccupied with our own thoughts, it becomes difficult to empathize. By practicing mindfulness and staying focused on the conversation, you can better tune into the speaker's emotions and respond with empathy. 3. Ask questions and clarify emotions. To deepen your understanding, ask open-ended questions that encourage the speaker to share more. Instead of assuming how someone feels, ask them directly. Questions like, "How did that make you feel?" or "What was going through your mind when that happened?" Invite the speaker to reflect on their emotions and give you more insight into their experience. If you're unsure about someone's feelings, it's okay to ask for clarification. For example, "I sense that you're upset. Can you tell me more about what's bothering you?" This shows that you are actively trying to understand their emotional state and are open to hearing their perspective. 4. Practice perspective taking. Empathy involves seeing the world through someone else's eyes. Practice perspective taking by putting yourself in the other person's shoes and imagining how they might be feeling in a given situation. Consider their background, experiences, and emotions to understand why they might be reacting in a particular way. By considering different perspectives, you broaden your understanding of others and become more sensitive to their needs and feelings. This can help you respond in a way that is compassionate and considerate, rather than reactive or dismissive. 5. Show compassion and validation. Empathy is not just about understanding, it's also about responding with compassion. When someone shares their feelings with you, validate their emotions by acknowledging their experience. Statements like "I can see why you'd feel that way," or "that sounds really tough," communicate that you understand and respect their emotions. Showing compassion helps others feel supported and cared for. It also strengthens the emotional connection between you, allowing for a deeper and more meaningful interaction. The challenges of empathy. While empathy is an incredibly valuable skill, it can also be challenging at times. We may struggle to empathize with people whose experiences or emotions are very different from our own. It can be difficult to understand someone who holds different beliefs or values, or someone who is going through something we've never experienced. However, empathy is not about agreeing with someone's point of view. It's about understanding and accepting their feelings. Even if you don't fully understand someone's experience, you can still show compassion and offer emotional support. Remember, empathy is about connecting on a human level and offering a safe space for others to express themselves. Conclusion. Empathy is at the heart of all meaningful relationships. It enables us to connect with others on a deeper level, reduce conflict, and foster understanding. By practicing empathy, we can improve our communication, build stronger bonds, and create a more compassionate world. In the next chapter, we will explore how understanding cultural differences can further enhance our ability to empathize with others and communicate effectively across diverse contexts. But for now, remember that empathy is not just about feeling for others, it's about actively engaging with their emotions and showing that we care. By cultivating empathy, we can unlock the power of human connection and build more meaningful, supportive relationships. Chapter 7. Identifying and overcoming biases. Biases are an inherent part of human nature. They shape the way we perceive the world, make decisions, and interact with others. Often these biases operate subconsciously, influencing our thoughts and behaviors, without us even realizing it. While biases are a natural part of being human, they can lead to misunderstandings, prejudices, and missed opportunities for connection. In this chapter, we will explore the different types of biases, how they affect our perceptions and relationships, and most importantly, how we can identify and overcome them to improve our understanding of others. What are biases? Biases are systematic patterns of thinking that affect our judgment and decision-making. They are shortcuts our brains take in order to process information more efficiently, but these shortcuts can lead to errors in judgment. Biases often arise from our past experiences, cultural background, personal beliefs, and social conditioning. At their core, biases help us make quick decisions based on limited information. However, when they are not recognized and managed, they can distort our perception of reality, cause us to make unfair judgments, and limit our ability to connect with people from different backgrounds or perspectives. Types of biases. There are many different types of biases, and they can be grouped into various categories. Let's explore some of the most common and impactful biases that influence our thinking. 1. Implicit bias. Implicit bias refers to the unconscious attitudes or stereotypes we hold about people based on their race, gender, age, or other characteristics. These biases can influence our behavior, often without us realizing it. For example, We might unknowingly treat people from a certain background differently, or we may make assumptions about someone's abilities based on their appearance. Implicit bias can be particularly harmful, because it is often unintentional, and those who harbor these biases may not even be aware of them. Recognizing and addressing implicit biases is essential for improving fairness and promoting inclusivity. 2. Confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is the tendency to seek out information that supports our existing beliefs, and to dismiss or ignore information that contradicts them. When we have strong opinions or preconceived notions about something, we tend to filter new information through those beliefs, reinforcing our current perspective. This bias can lead to closed-mindedness and a lack of openness to new ideas. It can also prevent us from seeing situations or people objectively, making it harder to understand other viewpoints. Overcoming confirmation bias requires actively seeking out information that challenges our beliefs and remaining open to diverse perspectives. 3. Attribution bias. Attribution bias occurs when we attribute someone's behavior to their character, rather than considering external factors that might be influencing them. For example, if someone is late to a meeting, we might assume that they are disorganized or irresponsible. However, there could be external factors, such as traffic or a family emergency, that contributed to their lateness. Attribution bias can lead to unfair judgments about people's motivations and behaviors. By taking a more empathetic approach and considering external circumstances, we can avoid making incorrect assumptions about others. 4. Affinity bias. Affinity bias refers to the tendency to favor people who are similar to ourselves. We are more likely to trust, support, and connect with individuals who share our interests, values, or background. While this bias is a natural part of human behavior, it can lead to exclusion or discrimination against those who are different from us. For example, in a workplace setting, someone might prefer to work with colleagues who have similar cultural backgrounds or hobbies, leading to a lack of diversity and missed opportunities for collaboration. Overcoming affinity bias involves actively seeking out and valuing diversity, recognizing the strengths that come from working with people who have different perspectives. 5. Halo effect. The halo effect is the tendency to allow one positive trait of a person to influence our overall judgment of them. For example, if someone is very attractive, we might assume that they are also intelligent, friendly, and capable, even though we don't have evidence to support these assumptions. Similarly, if someone is a good speaker, we might assume they are an expert in every field. While the halo effect can lead to positive perceptions of people, it can also result in unfair judgments and biased decisions. Being aware of the halo effect helps us evaluate others more objectively and avoid letting one trait overshadow their overall abilities or character. 6. Stereotyping. Stereotyping is the act of making generalized assumptions about a group of people based on their race, gender, age, or other characteristics. These assumptions can be positive or negative, but they are often overly simplistic and inaccurate. For example, assuming that all young people are tech-savvy, or that older people are not open to new technology, is a form of stereotyping. Stereotyping can limit our understanding of individuals and prevent us from recognizing their unique qualities and abilities. By taking the time to get to know people as individuals, we can break free from stereotypes and appreciate their full complexity. How biases affect our perception and relationships. Biases can influence the way we perceive and interact with others in many ways. For example, they can lead us to favor people who are similar to us and reject those who are different. They can also cause us to make unfair judgments based on limited information, leading to misunderstandings and missed opportunities for connection. In relationships, biases can create barriers to effective communication and mutual understanding. For instance, if we assume that someone is untrustworthy because of their background or appearance, we may not take the time to listen to their perspective or consider their needs. This can lead to feelings of frustration, resentment, or alienation. In the workplace, biases can affect hiring decisions, performance evaluations, and team dynamics. When we make decisions based on biased perceptions, we may overlook talented individuals or fail to create an inclusive environment where everyone feels valued and respected. How to identify and overcome biases? The first step in overcoming biases is recognizing that they exist. We all have biases, and acknowledging them is essential for growth and improvement. Here are some strategies for identifying and overcoming biases. 1. Increase self-awareness. The more aware we are of our own biases, the easier it is to identify them when they arise. Take the time to reflect on your thoughts, feelings, and reactions to different people and situations. Are there patterns that suggest biases, such as favoring people who look like you or dismissing others based on stereotypes? Self-awareness is key to recognizing when bias is influencing your judgments. 2. Seek diverse perspectives. One of the most effective ways to combat bias is to expose yourself to diverse perspectives. Engage with people from different backgrounds, cultures, and experiences. Listen to their stories and viewpoints, and be open to learning from them. The more we interact with individuals who challenge our biases, the more we expand our understanding and reduce the influence of stereotypes. 3. Practice empathy. Empathy is one of the most powerful tools for overcoming biases. By putting yourself in someone else's shoes, you can gain a deeper understanding of their experiences and emotions, helping you move past superficial judgments. When you empathize with others, you recognize their humanity and appreciate their unique qualities. 4. Challenge your assumptions. Whenever you catch yourself making assumptions about someone based on their appearance or background, challenge those assumptions. Ask yourself if your beliefs are based on evidence or stereotypes. Consider alternative explanations, and be open to changing your perspective. The more we question our assumptions, the less likely we are to let biases guide our decisions. 5. Create inclusive environments. In both personal and professional settings, work to create inclusive environments where people feel valued and respected. Encourage open dialogue, diverse viewpoints, and collaboration. By fostering an environment that celebrates differences, you can reduce the impact of biases and promote greater understanding. Conclusion. Biases are a natural part of being human, but when left unchecked, they can hinder our ability to connect with others, make fair judgments, and create meaningful relationships. By understanding the different types of biases, recognizing how they affect our perceptions, and taking steps to overcome them, we can improve our interactions and build a more inclusive, compassionate world. In the next chapter, we will explore how cultural influences shape behavior and communication, and how understanding cultural differences can help us become more empathetic and effective communicators. But for now, remember that overcoming bias is an ongoing process. The more we strive to understand our biases and work to counteract them, the better we become at building strong, authentic connections with those around us. Chapter 8. The Influence of Culture. Culture shapes our identity, our beliefs, and the way we interact with the world. It influences how we communicate, how we interpret information, and how we build relationships. Whether we are conscious of it or not, our cultural background plays a significant role in every aspect of our lives. In this chapter, we will explore the impact of culture on human behavior, communication, and understanding. We will also examine how recognizing and appreciating cultural differences can improve our interactions and foster more meaningful connections with others. What is culture? Culture refers to the shared beliefs, values, norms, customs, and practices of a group of people. It includes everything from language, religion, and food, to social behavior, traditions, and even ways of thinking. Culture is passed down from generation to generation, and influences how individuals perceive the world around them and relate to others. Culture shapes how we make sense of our environment. It defines what is considered acceptable, appropriate, or respectful in different contexts. For example, in some cultures, direct eye contact is seen as a sign of respect and attentiveness, while in others, it may be considered rude or confrontational. Similarly, in some cultures, personal space is valued highly, while in others, physical closeness is seen as a way of building connection and trust. The role of culture in communication. Communication is a cornerstone of human interaction, and culture plays a crucial role in shaping how we communicate with others. There are several ways in which culture influences communication. 1. Verbal communication. Language is one of the most obvious ways culture influences communication. The words we use, the meanings attached to them, and the way we structure our sentences are all shaped by our cultural background. Different cultures have different languages, dialects, and expressions that carry unique meanings. Even within the same language, cultural differences can influence how we speak. For example, some cultures value brevity and directness in conversation, while others prioritize politeness and indirect communication. In some cultures, saying no directly is considered impolite, so people may use more indirect phrases, like maybe, or I'll think about it. The way we use language can also reflect cultural norms. In some cultures, it is customary to greet others with formal titles and honorifics, while in others, informal greetings are more common. Understanding the language preferences and communication styles of different cultures can help us avoid misunderstandings and communicate more effectively. Nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication, which includes body language, gestures, facial expressions, and eye contact, is also deeply influenced by culture. Different cultures have different rules for nonverbal behavior, and these differences can sometimes lead to confusion or misinterpretation. For example, in many Western cultures, a firm handshake is seen as a sign of confidence and professionalism, while in some Asian cultures, a bow or a nod may be more appropriate. Similarly, the use of hand gestures can have varying meanings across cultures. What is considered a friendly gesture in one culture may be offensive in another. Facial expressions also vary in their meaning. While a smile is often associated with happiness in most cultures, in some cultures, it may also be used to mask discomfort or politeness. In some cultures, silence can be a sign of respect, while in others, it may be seen as uncomfortable or awkward. 3. Context and communication styles. Another key aspect of cultural influence is the context in which communication takes place. Cultures can be broadly categorized into two types: high context and low context cultures. High context cultures. In high context cultures, much of the communication relies on shared experiences, relationships, and nonverbal cues. The meaning of words is often implicit, and much of the communication is understood through the context in which it occurs. In these cultures, people tend to rely on indirect communication and subtle cues to convey meaning. Low context cultures. In low context cultures, communication is more direct and explicit. People tend to say exactly what they mean, and words carry more weight than the context in which they are spoken. In these cultures, clarity and precision are valued, and misunderstandings are less likely to arise from unspoken cues. Understanding whether you are dealing with a high context or low context culture can help you adjust your communication style and ensure that you are conveying your message in a way that is culturally appropriate. The influence of culture on behavior. Culture doesn't just affect communication, it also shapes the way we behave, think, and make decisions. Our cultural values influence how we approach relationships, work, and problem solving. Some of the key areas where culture influences behavior include: 1. Individualism versus collectivism. One of the most well-known cultural differences is the distinction between individualism and collectivism. In individualistic cultures, such as those found in many Western countries, personal achievement and independence are highly valued. People in individualistic cultures tend to focus on their own goals and desires, and the concept of self is often central to their identity. In contrast, collectivist cultures, which are common in many parts of Asia, Africa, and Latin America, emphasize the importance of group harmony, interdependence, and community. In collectivist cultures, people often prioritize the needs of the group over individual desires, and place a strong emphasis on maintaining close relationships with family, friends, and colleagues. Understanding whether someone comes from an individualistic or collectivist culture can help you navigate social and professional interactions more effectively. For example, in a collectivist culture, it may be important to approach teamwork and decision-making with sensitivity to group dynamics, while in an individualistic culture, personal achievement and individual input may be more emphasized. 2. Power distance. Power distance refers to the degree to which power is distributed unevenly within a culture. In cultures with high power distance, there is a strong emphasis on hierarchy and respect for authority. People in these cultures are more likely to accept inequality and view those in positions of power with respect and deference. In these cultures, decision-making tends to be centralized, and communication is often formal. In contrast, cultures with low power distance tend to value equality and less rigid hierarchies. People in these cultures are more likely to challenge authority and expect a more egalitarian distribution of power. In low power distance cultures, decision-making is often decentralized, and communication tends to be more informal. Being aware of power distance can help you understand the dynamics of a group or organization, and adapt your approach to leadership, decision-making, and communication accordingly. 3. Time orientation. Time orientation refers to how a culture perceives and values time. In some cultures, time is seen as linear and structured, with a strong emphasis on punctuality and meeting deadlines. These cultures are often referred to as monochronic, meaning that people tend to focus on one task at a time and value efficiency and time management. In other cultures, time is viewed as more fluid and flexible. These cultures are polychronic, meaning that people are comfortable with multitasking and may view strict adherence to schedules as less important. Relationships and interactions are prioritized over rigid time constraints. Understanding a culture's time orientation can help you adjust your expectations for punctuality and work styles, and ensure that you approach tasks and deadlines with cultural sensitivity. The impact of cultural awareness on communication. Recognizing and appreciating cultural differences is essential for effective communication. When we are culturally aware, we are better equipped to navigate differences in communication styles, behavior, and values. Cultural awareness allows us to build rapport and trust with people from diverse backgrounds, avoid misunderstandings and misinterpretations that can arise from cultural differences, show respect for others' values, traditions, and customs, adapt our communication and behavior to ensure we are culturally appropriate. In today's globalized world, cultural awareness is a key skill for personal and professional success. Whether you are working with people from different countries, managing a diverse team, or simply interacting with people from different cultural backgrounds, understanding the influence of culture can help you communicate more effectively and build stronger relationships. Conclusion: culture plays a profound role in shaping who we are, how we communicate, and how we interact with others. By understanding the influence of culture on behavior and communication, we can become more empathetic, adaptable, and effective communicators. Recognizing and respecting cultural differences allows us to build stronger relationships, foster inclusivity, and create a more harmonious and understanding world. In the next chapter, we will explore how emotional intelligence contributes to our ability to understand and connect with others. But for now, remember that culture is not something to be overcome. It is something to be embraced. By appreciating and valuing cultural differences, we can enrich our lives and the lives of those around us. Chapter 9. Emotional Intelligence in Understanding People. Emotional intelligence, EI, is one of the most essential skills for understanding and connecting with others. While traditional intelligence measures cognitive abilities such as logic, problem solving, and reasoning, emotional intelligence focuses on the ability to understand and manage emotions, both your own and others. It influences how we interact with people, make decisions, and navigate complex social situations. In this chapter, we will explore what emotional intelligence is, how it contributes to understanding people, and how you can develop this skill to enhance your relationships and communication. What is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence refers to the capacity to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions, as well as the ability to recognize, understand, and influence the emotions of others. Psychologist Daniel Goleman, who popularized the concept in the 1990s, identified 5 key components of emotional intelligence. 1. Self-awareness. Self-awareness is the ability to recognize and understand your own emotions and how they affect your thoughts, behavior, and decision-making. It's about being in tune with your emotional state and being able to identify how you're feeling in any given moment. This helps you respond to situations in a more thoughtful and controlled manner, rather than reacting impulsively. For example, if you recognize that you're feeling anxious before a presentation, self-awareness allows you to acknowledge that emotion and take steps to manage it, such as practicing relaxation techniques or focusing on positive thoughts. 2. Self-regulation. Self-regulation is the ability to manage your emotions healthily and constructively. It involves controlling impulsive feelings and behaviors, staying calm and composed, and remaining adaptable in the face of challenges. People with strong self-regulation can keep their emotions in check, even in stressful situations, and avoid overreacting or making rash decisions. For instance, if you're feeling frustrated during a conversation, self-regulation allows you to pause and take a deep breath before responding, rather than reacting angrily or shutting down the conversation altogether. 3. Motivation. Motivation, in the context of emotional intelligence, refers to the drive to achieve goals for intrinsic reasons, such as personal satisfaction or passion, rather than for external rewards. People with high emotional intelligence are often highly motivated and able to stay focused on their goals, even when faced with setbacks or obstacles. They exhibit persistence, enthusiasm, and a commitment to self-improvement. For example, a person who is passionate about their work will remain motivated, even if they encounter difficulties, because they are driven by a deep sense of purpose and fulfillment, rather than external praise or recognition. 4. Empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It involves seeing the world from another person's perspective and responding to their emotions with care and understanding. Empathy helps you connect with people on a deeper level, fostering strong relationships and building trust. Empathy goes beyond simply recognizing someone's emotions. It also involves acknowledging and validating them. For instance, if a friend is going through a tough time, empathy allows you to understand their pain and offer support, whether through listening, comforting, or offering assistance. 5. Social skills. Social skills refer to the ability to manage relationships and navigate social complexities effectively. This includes skills like communication, teamwork, conflict resolution, and leadership. People with strong social skills can build and maintain positive relationships, collaborate with others, and resolve conflicts in constructive ways. They are skilled at influencing, motivating, and inspiring others, while maintaining respect and understanding. For example, a leader with high emotional intelligence uses their social skills to motivate their team, resolve conflicts, and create a collaborative environment, leading to greater productivity and morale. How emotional intelligence enhances understanding people. Emotional intelligence plays a significant role in how we understand and relate to others. Here's how each component of EI contributes to better understanding people. 1. Self-awareness and understanding others. Self-awareness helps you become more attuned to your own emotional responses, which is a crucial first step in understanding others. When you are aware of your own emotions, you can better recognize when your reactions might be influenced by personal biases, past experiences, or stress. This awareness allows you to approach others with a clearer and more objective mindset. For example, if you're feeling defensive in a conversation, self-awareness helps you identify that your emotions are affecting your judgment, allowing you to pause and listen more attentively to the other person's perspective. 2. Self-regulation and empathy. Self-regulation and empathy work hand in hand. When you can regulate your own emotions, you are better equipped to respond empathetically to others. For example, if someone is expressing frustration or anger, self-regulation helps you remain calm and composed, allowing you to listen to their concerns without becoming defensive or reactive. Empathy allows you to understand the emotional state of others, while self-regulation helps you manage your response in a way that is supportive and constructive. This balance enables you to offer comfort, validation, and helpful solutions, rather than contributing to further conflict or misunderstanding. 3. Motivation and social understanding. Motivation and emotional intelligence helps you connect with others' goals and aspirations. By understanding your own motivations, you are better able to relate to others' desires, needs, and ambitions. This deeper connection can foster collaboration and strengthen relationships. For example, if you understand that a colleague is motivated by career advancement, you can offer support and encouragement that aligns with their aspirations. This shared understanding creates a stronger bond and enhances teamwork. 4. Empathy and communication. Empathy is the foundation of effective communication. When you understand how someone is feeling, you can tailor your words and actions to respond appropriately. This allows you to engage in meaningful conversations, resolve conflicts with sensitivity, and create an environment where people feel heard and respected. For instance, if a colleague is upset about a project, empathy allows you to acknowledge their feelings and offer solutions that address both their emotional needs and practical concerns. By showing empathy in communication, you foster an atmosphere of mutual respect and collaboration. 5. Social skills and conflict resolution. People with strong social skills are adept at resolving conflicts and managing difficult situations. They are skilled at reading social cues, understanding different perspectives, and finding common ground. This makes it easier to navigate disagreements or misunderstandings without escalating tensions. For example, if a disagreement arises in a group setting, someone with strong social skills can mediate the discussion, ensuring that everyone feels heard and respected. They can also guide the group toward a resolution that satisfies all parties involved, enhancing collaboration and trust. How to develop emotional intelligence. The good news is that emotional intelligence is not fixed. It can be developed and strengthened over time. Here are some strategies for enhancing your emotional intelligence. 1. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness helps you become more aware of your emotions and how they affect your thoughts and actions. By practicing mindfulness, you can improve your self-awareness and emotional regulation, making it easier to respond to others in a calm and thoughtful manner. Mindfulness practices like meditation or deep breathing can help you stay grounded and focused, especially in stressful or emotionally charged situations. 2. Seek feedback. One of the best ways to develop emotional intelligence is to seek feedback from others. Ask trusted friends, family members, or colleagues how you come across in conversations and interactions. Do they feel heard and understood? Are there areas where you could improve your communication or empathy? Constructive feedback can provide valuable insights into how you can improve your emotional intelligence and better connect with others. 3. Develop empathy through active listening. Empathy is a skill that can be cultivated through active listening. When someone is speaking, give them your full attention and focus on understanding their emotions and perspective. Ask open-ended questions to encourage them to share more about their feelings and validate their experiences by acknowledging their emotions. The more you practice active listening, the more empathetic and emotionally intelligent you will become. 4. Manage your stress and emotions. Stress and intense emotions can cloud your judgment and make it harder to understand others. By learning how to manage your emotions and stress levels, you can improve your emotional regulation and respond more effectively to others. Practices such as exercise, relaxation techniques, and time management can help you maintain emotional balance and improve your ability to empathize with others. 5. Work on social skills. To improve your social skills, focus on building stronger relationships and practicing effective communication. Engage in conversations with an open mind, make an effort to understand others' perspectives, and work on resolving conflicts in a constructive way. The more you engage in positive social interactions, the more adept you will become at managing relationships and building trust. Conclusion. Emotional intelligence is a powerful tool for understanding and connecting with others. By developing self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, and social skills, you can improve your ability to navigate complex social situations, build stronger relationships, and communicate more effectively. Chapter 10. Building Trust and Rapport. Trust and rapport are the foundations of all successful relationships, whether personal, professional, or social. Without trust, communication falters, misunderstandings occur, and connections remain shallow. On the other hand, when trust and rapport are present, relationships thrive, communication flows smoothly, and individuals feel comfortable and valued. In this chapter, we will explore the importance of trust and rapport, how they are built, and actionable strategies to develop and strengthen these essential elements in your interactions with others. What is trust? Trust is the belief in the reliability, integrity, and ability of another person. It is the foundation of any meaningful relationship, whether between friends, family members, colleagues, or partners. Trust allows people to feel safe, open, and vulnerable with each other. It means that one person has confidence in another's actions, intentions, and character. Trust is built over time, through consistent, dependable, and honest behavior. Without trust, relationships become strained. People may second-guess each other's motives, communication may break down, and cooperation may be limited. Trust creates a sense of security, encouraging people to engage fully, share openly, and collaborate freely. What is rapport? Rapport is the mutual understanding and harmony between individuals that allows for positive, smooth communication. When you have good rapport with someone, you feel comfortable and at ease in their presence, and vice versa. Rapport goes beyond mere politeness. It's about a sense of connection and alignment, where both parties feel understood and valued. Rapport is often established through shared experiences, similar interests, and open communication. It's not about trying to impress someone or forcing a connection. It's about being genuine, authentic, and attentive. When rapport is built, people are more likely to trust each other and engage in deeper, more meaningful interactions. The importance of trust and rapport. Trust and rapport are crucial for various reasons. 1. Effective communication. When trust and rapport are present, communication becomes much more effective. People are more likely to listen attentively, share their thoughts openly, and provide honest feedback. In the absence of trust, communication tends to be guarded, and misunderstandings are more likely. 2. Collaboration and teamwork. In a work or group setting, trust and rapport are essential for collaboration. When team members trust each other and have a strong rapport, they are more likely to work together efficiently, share ideas freely, and support one another. Without trust, people may withhold information, work in silos, or avoid taking risks, leading to reduced teamwork and innovation. 3. Conflict resolution. Trust and rapport are key to resolving conflicts in a healthy and constructive way. When there is trust, people are more willing to listen to each other's viewpoints and find common ground. Rapport creates an atmosphere of mutual respect, which helps to prevent conflicts from escalating and encourages a cooperative approach to finding solutions. 4. Relationship strengthening. Trust and rapport are the pillars that support long-lasting, strong relationships. Whether in friendships, romantic partnerships, or professional connections, trust and rapport deepen the emotional connection and strengthen the bond between individuals. People are more likely to invest in and nurture relationships when they feel a sense of trust and rapport. How to build trust. Building trust is a gradual process that requires consistency, transparency, and reliability. Here are several ways to develop and nurture trust in your relationships. 1. Be honest and transparent. Honesty is the cornerstone of trust. When you are truthful in your interactions, people will know that they can rely on your words and actions. Transparency builds trust by demonstrating that you have nothing to hide and that you are open about your intentions. For example, if you make a mistake, owning up to it shows that you are accountable and trustworthy. Hiding mistakes or being dishonest can quickly erode trust and damage relationships. 2. Be reliable and consistent. Trust grows when people can count on you. Being reliable means following through on commitments and consistently meeting expectations. When you demonstrate that you can be counted on time and time again, trust is built gradually. For instance, if you promise to meet someone at a specific time, showing up as promised demonstrates reliability. If you continually fail to meet expectations or back out of commitments, trust will diminish. 3. Show empathy and understanding. Trust is built not only through actions, but also through emotional support. When you show empathy and understanding, others feel valued and respected. Empathy helps people feel that their emotions and perspectives are understood and validated, creating a deeper emotional connection. When someone shares their concerns or struggles with you, responding with empathy shows that you care and are invested in their well-being. This fosters a sense of trust and makes it easier for others to open up to you. 4. Respect boundaries and privacy. Respecting the boundaries and privacy of others is essential for building trust. Everyone has their own comfort levels regarding what they share and how they interact with others. When you respect those boundaries, you demonstrate that you value their autonomy and trust them to share at their own pace. For example, not pressuring someone to share personal information they're not ready to disclose shows respect for their boundaries. Overstepping these boundaries can damage trust and make others feel uncomfortable or vulnerable. How to build rapport. Rapport is built through meaningful connection and mutual understanding. Here are some ways to develop rapport with others. 1. Be genuine and authentic. People appreciate authenticity. When you are true to yourself and show genuine interest in others, rapport is naturally built. People can sense when someone is being insincere or trying too hard, and this can hinder the development of rapport. Instead of trying to impress or put on a facade, be yourself and engage with others in an honest, natural way. Ask questions, show curiosity, and express genuine interest in getting to know them as individuals. 2. Active listening. Active listening is key to building rapport. When you actively listen to someone, you demonstrate that you value their thoughts and feelings. It's not just about hearing their words, it's about understanding their emotions and responding thoughtfully. Make eye contact, nod in agreement, and give verbal cues like "I see" or "that makes sense" to show that you are engaged. Reflect on what they've said and ask follow-up questions to deepen the conversation. 3. Find common ground. Rapport is often built on shared experiences, interests, or values. When you find common ground with someone, it creates a sense of connection and belonging. This can be anything from shared hobbies, goals, or experiences to mutual respect for certain values or ideals. For example, if you both enjoy the same sport or have traveled to the same country, discussing these topics can help establish rapport and foster a deeper connection. Finding common ground allows you to relate to others on a more personal level. 4. Use positive body language. Nonverbal communication plays a significant role in building rapport. Positive body language, such as maintaining eye contact, smiling, leaning in slightly, and mirroring the other person's gestures, creates a sense of comfort and trust. These subtle signals show that you are engaged and open to connecting. Be mindful of your posture and gestures. Avoid crossing your arms or looking away, as these can signal disinterest or defensiveness. Instead, use open, welcoming body language to build rapport. 5. Be respectful and considerate. Rapport thrives in environments of mutual respect and consideration. When you show kindness, understanding, and courtesy, others feel valued and respected. Simple gestures like being punctual, expressing gratitude, and offering help when needed go a long way in building rapport. For example, thanking someone for their time or acknowledging their contributions shows that you appreciate and respect them, which strengthens the bond between you. Conclusion: trust and rapport are the bedrock of any meaningful relationship. They allow for open communication, collaboration, and emotional connection. Building trust requires honesty, reliability, and empathy, while building rapport involves being genuine, listening actively, and finding common ground. Both trust and rapport require time, patience, and consistent effort, but they are essential for creating strong, lasting relationships. In the next chapter, we will explore how understanding and overcoming communication barriers can further enhance our ability to connect with others. But for now, remember that trust and rapport are not just about what you say, it's about how you make others feel. By investing in building trust and rapport, you create the foundation for deeper, more meaningful connections. Chapter 11. Overcoming communication barriers. Effective communication is crucial for building strong relationships, achieving success in the workplace, and resolving conflicts. However, communication can often be complicated by a variety of barriers that prevent the message from being conveyed clearly and understood accurately. These barriers can arise from a wide range of factors, including physical, emotional, cultural, and psychological influences. In this chapter, we will explore the common communication barriers, how they impact communication, and strategies to overcome them to improve understanding and connection. Types of communication barriers. Communication barriers can be broadly categorized into several types, each of which can affect how we send, receive, and interpret messages. Let's take a closer look at the most common barriers. 1. Physical barriers. Physical barriers are environmental factors that can impede communication. These barriers are often external and can be quite obvious. For instance, poor acoustics, background noise, or distance between communicators can make it difficult for individuals to hear or understand each other. These physical obstacles can lead to misunderstandings, frustration, or even a breakdown in communication. In the workplace, physical barriers might include loud machinery, a crowded open office space, or technical issues during virtual meetings. In social settings, physical barriers may include being in a noisy area, using poor quality video calls, or having difficulty hearing due to physical limitations. How to overcome physical barriers. Ensure a quiet, distraction-free environment. When possible, choose a quiet, comfortable space for conversations, especially when discussing important matters. Use clear technology. Ensure that technology, such as microphones, video equipment, and internet connections, are in good working order during virtual meetings or phone calls. Face-to-face communication. If hearing is an issue, consider meeting in person or using video calls to enable better visual communication and reduce misunderstandings. 2. Language barriers. Language differences are one of the most common barriers to effective communication, particularly in multicultural settings. Language barriers occur when the sender and receiver of a message speak different languages, or when the language used is too technical or jargon-heavy for the listener to understand. Even when both people speak the same language, accents, Dialects or regional expressions can cause confusion. How to overcome language barriers. Simplify your language. Use clear, simple language, and avoid jargon, idioms, or phrases that may be unfamiliar to the listener. Use visual aids. Diagrams, charts, or slides can help clarify information and enhance understanding when verbal communication alone is insufficient. Be patient. If there's a language difference, take time to ensure mutual understanding, and don't hesitate to ask for clarification if needed. 3. Emotional barriers. Emotions play a significant role in communication. Emotional barriers occur when strong feelings such as anger, frustration, anxiety, or excitement interfere with one's ability to communicate effectively. For example, if a person is feeling upset, they may struggle to express themselves clearly or listen attentively to others. Similarly, a listener who is preoccupied with their own emotions may not fully absorb or understand the message being conveyed. How to overcome emotional barriers. Acknowledge emotions. Recognize when emotions are affecting communication, both in yourself and others, and take a step back to assess the situation before continuing. Stay calm and composed. Practice techniques to manage your emotions, such as deep breathing or taking a short break before engaging in important conversations. Use empathy. Show understanding and support for the other person's emotions. If someone is upset, listen carefully and respond with compassion, which can diffuse tension and foster better communication. 4. Cultural barriers. Cultural differences are an inevitable part of communication, especially in a globalized world. Each culture has its own set of values, norms, and communication styles, which can lead to misunderstandings. For example, some cultures emphasize direct communication, while others value more indirect or diplomatic approaches. Differences in body language, eye contact, or gestures can also create confusion. How to overcome cultural barriers. Educate yourself about cultural differences. Take the time to learn about the cultural backgrounds of the people you are communicating with. Understanding cultural norms and preferences can help you adjust your communication style to be more effective. Ask questions. If you are unsure about something, ask open-ended questions to gain a better understanding of the other person's perspective and preferences. Be respectful. Always show respect for cultural differences and avoid making assumptions based on stereotypes. Adapt your behavior and communication to ensure that it is inclusive and respectful of others' cultures. 5. Perceptual barriers. Perceptual barriers arise when people interpret the same message in different ways, based on their individual experiences, biases, and perspectives. Our perceptions are shaped by our upbringing, environment, and previous experiences, which can influence how we interpret information. As a result, two people may perceive the same situation or conversation differently, leading to confusion or miscommunication. How to overcome perceptual barriers. Clarify assumptions. Ensure that you are not jumping to conclusions or making assumptions about the other person's intentions or message. Ask for clarification when needed to ensure mutual understanding. Seek feedback. If you are unsure how your message has been received, ask for feedback to check whether your communication is being understood as intended. Be open-minded. Try to consider the other person's perspective and acknowledge that there may be multiple interpretations of the same message. 6. Technological barriers. With the increasing reliance on technology for communication, technological barriers have become more prevalent. Issues such as poor internet connectivity, software glitches, and inadequate devices can interfere with effective communication. In a virtual meeting, technical difficulties such as sound delays, video lag, or dropped calls can hinder the exchange of information and lead to frustration. How to overcome technological barriers. Ensure proper setup. Test technology ahead of time to ensure everything is working, whether it's checking your internet connection or ensuring that your microphone and camera are functioning properly. Provide alternatives. If technical difficulties arise during a virtual meeting, have alternative methods of communication available, such as switching to a phone call or email, to ensure the conversation continues smoothly. Be patient. Understand that technology can sometimes fail, and remain patient and adaptable when problems occur. Overcoming communication barriers. Strategies for success. While communication barriers are inevitable, there are several strategies that can help minimize their impact and improve the quality of communication. 1. Active listening. Active listening is one of the most powerful tools for overcoming communication barriers. It involves fully concentrating on the speaker, understanding their message, responding thoughtfully, and remembering key points. Active listening requires focus, patience, and empathy, allowing you to overcome emotional, cultural, and perceptual barriers by truly understanding the other person's perspective. 2. Be clear and concise. When conveying information, it is important to be clear, concise, and specific. Avoid long-winded explanations or unnecessary details that can cause confusion. Break down complex ideas into simple, digestible pieces of information and confirm understanding throughout the conversation. If needed, summarize key points to ensure everyone is on the same page. 3. Be open to feedback. Effective communication is a two-way process. Actively encourage feedback from others to ensure that your message has been understood. Don't be afraid to ask questions or request clarification if something is unclear. Feedback helps improve communication and allows for course correction if there has been a misunderstanding. 4. Adapt your communication style. Adapting your communication style to the person you are speaking with can help overcome many barriers. For instance, if you're dealing with someone from a different cultural background, be mindful of their communication preferences. If you're communicating with someone who is feeling emotional or upset, adjust your tone and approach to ensure that your message is received with empathy and care. 5. Foster an open, respectful environment. Create an atmosphere of openness and respect in your conversations. Encourage people to express themselves freely without fear of judgment. When people feel comfortable, they are more likely to share their thoughts openly, leading to better communication and fewer barriers. Conclusion. Communication barriers can present significant challenges, but with awareness and effort, they can be overcome. By understanding the types of barriers that may exist, practicing active listening, adapting your communication style, and fostering respect and openness, you can create more effective and meaningful connections with others. Overcoming communication barriers not only improves the quality of your interactions, but also helps build stronger, more harmonious relationships, whether in personal, social, or professional contexts. In the next chapter, we will explore how to apply the principles of emotional intelligence to create better interpersonal relationships. But for now, remember that communication is an ongoing skill that can always be improved. By recognizing and addressing barriers, we take one step closer to becoming more effective, empathetic communicators. Chapter 12. The Power of Reflection and Adaptation. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day hustle and forget to take a moment to reflect. Yet, reflection is one of the most powerful tools for personal growth and improvement. Reflection allows us to step back, analyze our actions, and learn from our experiences. Adaptation, on the other hand, is the ability to adjust and change based on that reflection. When combined, reflection and adaptation create a continuous cycle of growth that enhances our understanding of ourselves and others. In this chapter, we will explore the importance of reflection and adaptation, how they work together, and how you can use them to improve your relationships and communication. The role of reflection. Reflection is the process of thinking deeply about our thoughts, actions, and experiences. It is a conscious effort to pause and evaluate what has happened, whether in a conversation, a decision, or an event, and assess how we feel about it. What went well, what could have been done differently, and what we can learn from it. Reflection helps us gain insights into our behaviors, motivations, and emotional responses. It allows us to identify patterns in our actions and thinking, which can be useful for personal growth and self-awareness. Without reflection, we may repeat the same mistakes or miss opportunities to learn and improve. The benefits of reflection: improves self-awareness. Reflection encourages self-examination, helping us become more aware of our thoughts, emotions, and reactions. When we reflect on a situation, we can gain a clearer understanding of why we acted in a certain way and what underlying factors influenced our behavior. Increases emotional intelligence. By reflecting on how we handle emotions, both our own and others, we can enhance our emotional intelligence. Reflection helps us understand how emotions influence our actions, allowing us to respond more thoughtfully and with greater empathy in future situations. Fosters personal growth. Reflection provides an opportunity to learn from both successes and failures. By identifying what went well and what could be improved, we can make adjustments and continue to grow as individuals. Enhances problem-solving skills. Reflecting on past challenges helps us recognize patterns in our decision-making and problem-solving. By analyzing what worked and what didn't, we can develop better strategies for addressing similar situations in the future. The role of adaptation. Adaptation is the ability to change and adjust our behavior, thinking, or strategies based on the insights we gain from reflection. It involves being flexible and open to change, which is essential for personal growth and improving our interactions with others. Adaptation is not just about making small adjustments. It's about being willing to embrace new ways of thinking and behaving that align with our goals and values. The benefits of adaptation: improves decision-making. When we adapt based on past experiences and reflections, we make more informed and thoughtful decisions. Instead of repeating the same behaviors or decisions, we adjust our approach to achieve better outcomes. Builds resilience. Life is full of unexpected challenges and changes. The ability to adapt helps us bounce back from setbacks, stay calm in stressful situations, and navigate through uncertainty. Adaptation is a key aspect of emotional resilience. Strengthens relationships. Adaptation in communication and behavior can improve how we relate to others. By adjusting our approach to meet the needs and preferences of different individuals, we can build stronger, more meaningful connections. Being adaptable shows that we value others' perspectives and are willing to meet them halfway. Fosters continuous improvement. Adaptation is an ongoing process. As we reflect and adapt, we create a cycle of continuous improvement. We are never stuck in old patterns but are always evolving and growing, becoming more capable of handling new situations with greater ease. How reflection and adaptation work together. Reflection and adaptation are interdependent. Reflection provides the insights needed to identify areas for improvement, while adaptation allows us to implement those insights and make necessary changes. Without reflection, we may not even realize what needs to be adjusted, and without adaptation, we may gain insights but fail to act on them. Together they create a powerful feedback loop. Here's how it works. Reflect first. You take the time to reflect on a situation, whether it's a conversation, a decision, or an event. You assess what happened, how you felt, and how others may have felt. You ask yourself questions like, what went well? What could I have done differently? What can I learn from this? Gain insights. Through reflection, you identify patterns and gain insights about yourself, your behavior, and your interactions with others. These insights allow you to understand where you can improve and how you can change. Adapt based on your reflections. You make changes to your behavior, communication, or approach. This might mean adjusting your tone in a conversation, becoming more open to feedback, or trying a different problem-solving strategy. Adaptation is about taking the lessons from reflection and applying them in real-life situations. Repeat. As you continue to reflect and adapt, you build a cycle of continuous improvement. Over time you become more skilled at understanding yourself and others, making better decisions, and adapting to different situations with ease. Practical ways to incorporate reflection and adaptation into daily life. Incorporating reflection and adaptation into your daily life doesn't require a major overhaul. Small, consistent practices can make a significant difference in your personal growth and the quality of your relationships. Here are some strategies to help you reflect and adapt effectively. 1. Set aside time for reflection. Make reflection a regular part of your routine. Whether it's at the end of the day, after a meeting, or following a significant event, take a few minutes to reflect on your actions and interactions. Journaling can be a helpful way to process your thoughts and gain clarity on what you've learned. Ask yourself questions like, how did I feel during that conversation? What went well, and what could have been improved? Did I understand the other person's perspective? What could I do differently next time? 2. Seek feedback from others. Feedback from others is a valuable tool for reflection. Ask friends, colleagues, or loved ones for constructive feedback on your behavior, communication, or decision-making. Be open to their insights, and use them as a guide to adapt and improve. For example, if you're working on improving your communication, ask others if they feel you are being clear and respectful in your interactions. Use their feedback to adjust your approach. 3. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness helps you become more aware of your emotions, thoughts, and reactions in the present moment. By practicing mindfulness, you can reflect on how you respond to situations as they happen, rather than only after the fact. This allows you to make adjustments in real time and become more adaptable. 4. Keep an open mind. Adapting requires an open mind. Be willing to challenge your assumptions and consider different perspectives. Embrace change as an opportunity for growth rather than as a threat. The more open you are to adapting, the more you will learn from each experience, and the more effective your interactions will become. 5. Set goals for improvement. After reflecting on a situation, set specific goals for how you want to adapt and improve. For example, if you reflected on a difficult conversation where you became defensive, set a goal to remain calm and composed in future conversations, even when you disagree. Break these goals down into actionable steps and revisit them regularly to track your progress. Conclusion: reflection and adaptation are powerful tools for personal and relational growth. By taking the time to reflect on your experiences and applying those insights to adapt your behavior and communication, you create a cycle of continuous improvement. This process enhances self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and resilience, helping you build stronger relationships, improve your problem-solving abilities, and navigate challenges with greater ease. In the next chapter, we will explore how to apply the skills of reflection and adaptation to create more meaningful and lasting connections in both personal and professional settings. But for now, remember that personal growth is an ongoing journey. The more you reflect and adapt, the more you unlock your potential to understand others and create a positive, impactful presence in the world around you. Chapter 13. Applying the knowledge in everyday life. Throughout this book, we've explored various concepts and techniques to improve communication, understand others better, and build stronger relationships. However, understanding these concepts in theory is only the first step. Applying them in everyday life is where true transformation occurs. In this chapter, we will discuss how to apply the knowledge you've gained in your daily interactions, whether in personal relationships, the workplace, or social situations. By integrating these principles into your life, you can improve your communication skills, strengthen your connections, and foster a deeper understanding of the people around you. The power of small, consistent changes. Change doesn't have to be dramatic to be impactful. In fact, small, consistent actions often lead to the most profound changes in behavior. When applying the principles of effective communication, empathy, emotional intelligence, and cultural awareness, It's important to recognize that progress comes over time. Each time you make an effort to listen more attentively, manage your emotions more effectively, or empathize with someone's point of view, you are building a habit that will eventually become second nature. Start with small changes, like consciously adjusting your tone during difficult conversations, or actively listening without interrupting. Over time, these small actions will compound, leading to stronger relationships and more effective communication. 1. Using reflection to improve interactions. One of the most powerful ways to apply your knowledge is through regular reflection. Reflection allows you to evaluate how your actions and communication style affect your relationships. After every significant conversation or interaction, take a few moments to reflect on how it went. Did I listen actively? Was I empathetic toward the other person's emotions? Did I stay calm and manage my emotions effectively? Was my body language open and welcoming? By asking yourself these questions, you can identify areas for improvement and adjust your behavior in future interactions. Reflection allows you to recognize when things went well, but it also highlights when and where things didn't go as planned. Rather than dwelling on mistakes, use reflection as an opportunity to learn and grow. Example: if you had a conversation with a colleague that ended abruptly, or with unresolved tension, take time to think about why it happened. Did you become defensive? Did you interrupt them too much? By understanding the dynamics of that conversation, you can decide how to approach similar situations in the future with a clearer mindset. 2. Adapting communication to different contexts. Every interaction is different, and the way we communicate should be adaptable to the context, the person we're speaking with, and the environment. Applying the knowledge of communication styles, emotional intelligence, and cultural sensitivity will allow you to adjust your approach to each unique situation. Here are some specific examples of how to adapt. In personal relationships, be mindful of emotional cues and nonverbal communication. If you notice that a friend or family member seems stressed, approach them with empathy and patience, rather than pushing them to open up immediately. Adapt your tone and body language to create a safe and supportive space. In the workplace, adjust your communication based on the preferences of your colleagues. For example, some colleagues might prefer direct and concise communication, while others may appreciate a more conversational or detailed approach. Understand the culture of your workplace and adapt your communication style accordingly, whether it's a formal presentation or an informal brainstorming session. In social situations, pay attention to cultural norms and social dynamics. If you're in a multicultural setting, be aware of the different communication styles that might be present and adapt your behavior to ensure inclusivity. Being aware of nonverbal cues, like personal space preferences, can also enhance your ability to connect with others. Adapting your communication style to fit the context and individuals involved will improve your interactions and ensure that your message is received in the way you intend. 3. Building stronger relationships through empathy. Empathy is a critical skill that enhances relationships by helping us understand others' feelings and perspectives. To apply empathy effectively, it's important to engage in active listening and focus on the emotional aspects of communication, not just the words being said. When you truly listen to someone's feelings and validate their emotions, you foster trust and understanding. Here's how you can apply empathy in everyday life. Practice active listening. When someone shares their thoughts or concerns, listen with full attention, avoid distractions, and make eye contact to show that you're engaged. Use verbal cues like "I see" or "that sounds tough" to let the speaker know that you're emotionally present in processing what they're saying. Validate emotions. Rather than offering solutions immediately, acknowledge and validate the emotions of the person you're speaking with. For instance, if a friend is upset, saying something like "I understand why you're feeling this way" shows empathy without judgment or the need to fix the problem immediately. Ask open-ended questions to further show empathy and encourage deeper connection. Ask questions that invite others to share more about their feelings. For example, how did that make you feel? Or what was going through your mind when that happened? By consistently practicing empathy, you build stronger emotional bonds and demonstrate that you value others' experiences and perspectives. 4. Managing your emotions in challenging situations. In difficult or high-stress situations, it's easy for emotions to take over, leading to impulsive reactions or miscommunication. The ability to manage your emotions is vital for maintaining control, especially in conversations where tension may arise. Here's how you can apply emotional regulation in everyday life. Pause and breathe. When you feel emotions like anger or frustration rising, take a moment to pause, breathe, and gather your thoughts before responding. This brief moment of reflection can prevent you from saying something impulsive or regrettable. Stay calm and composed. In challenging conversations, maintain a calm and composed demeanor. Keep your tone neutral, avoid raising your voice, and try to stay present in the conversation. This will help de-escalate the situation and allow for more productive dialogue. Reframe negative thoughts. Instead of getting caught up in negative or judgmental thoughts, try to reframe your thinking. For example, if you're feeling frustrated with a colleague, remind yourself that they may be under pressure and that their actions are not necessarily a personal attack. By managing your emotions effectively, you create a more positive and constructive environment for communication. 5. Cultivating continuous learning and growth. The process of improving communication, understanding others, and building stronger relationships is ongoing. Applying the knowledge you've gained from this book requires continuous practice and a commitment to personal growth. Each interaction is an opportunity to refine your skills and deepen your understanding of yourself and others. Here are some ways to foster continuous growth. Set personal goals. Identify areas where you want to improve, such as active listening or conflict resolution. Set clear, achievable goals and track your progress. For example, you might aim to practice reflective listening in your next conversation, or work on staying calm in emotionally charged situations. Seek feedback. Regularly ask for feedback from others on how you communicate and interact, whether it's from a friend, colleague, or family member. Feedback helps you identify blind spots and areas for improvement. Read and learn. Continue learning about communication, emotional intelligence, and relationship building by reading books, articles, or taking courses. The more knowledge you gain, the more tools you have to apply in your daily life. Conclusion. Applying the knowledge you've gained from this book into your everyday life is a powerful way to improve your relationships, enhance communication, and foster understanding. By reflecting on your experiences, adapting your communication style, and practicing empathy and emotional regulation, you can create deeper, more meaningful connections with the people around you. Remember, the journey to better communication and stronger relationships is ongoing. Each interaction is an opportunity for growth, and by consistently applying these principles, you'll continue to enhance your understanding of others and build a positive, supportive environment in your personal and professional life. In the next chapter, we will explore how to maintain these changes and ensure long-term success in your communication efforts. But for now, start by taking small, intentional steps each day and watch how your relationships and understanding of others improve over time. Chapter 14. Unlocking the Mind. A Path to Better Relationships. The key to building and nurturing successful relationships lies in understanding both yourself and others. Our minds are powerful tools, shaping our perceptions, emotions, and actions. However, without self-awareness, empathy, and effective communication, these tools can sometimes lead us astray, creating misunderstandings and barriers in our relationships. In this chapter, we will explore how unlocking the mind, by cultivating self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and open-mindedness, can pave the way for healthier, more fulfilling relationships. We'll also look at practical steps to strengthen these qualities and transform your connections with others. The power of self-awareness in relationships. Self-awareness is the foundation of all personal growth and effective communication. It is the ability to recognize and understand your own emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. By becoming aware of your strengths, weaknesses, values, and triggers, you can improve how you interact with others and navigate relationships more effectively. How self-awareness enhances relationships. Improves emotional regulation. When you are self-aware, you can better recognize when your emotions are influencing your behavior. For instance, if you feel anger rising during a conversation, self-awareness allows you to pause, breathe, and choose a more constructive response, instead of reacting impulsively. Emotional regulation, in turn, fosters calmer, more thoughtful interactions. Reduces misunderstandings. By understanding your own communication style and emotional needs, you are less likely to misinterpret others' actions or words. You can communicate your feelings and needs more clearly, helping others understand you better, and reducing the chances of misunderstandings. Enhances empathy. Self-awareness and empathy are closely linked. The more you understand your own feelings and reactions, the better you can relate to others' experiences. By recognizing your own emotional landscape, you can appreciate how others might feel in similar situations, fostering deeper connections. Cultivating emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, EI, refers to the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your emotions and the emotions of others. High EI enables you to navigate social interactions with ease, respond to others with empathy, and maintain emotional balance in both calm and tense situations. In relationships, emotional intelligence is a crucial skill. It helps you communicate effectively, manage conflicts, and build strong, trusting connections. Key components of emotional intelligence. Self-awareness. As discussed, knowing your emotions and how they affect your thoughts and behavior is the first step in developing emotional intelligence. Self-regulation, managing your emotions in healthy ways, whether that means staying calm during an argument, choosing to walk away when you're angry, or not letting fear control your actions, is key to emotional intelligence. Motivation. In relationships, motivation is the drive to act in ways that benefit the relationship, even when it's difficult. Being emotionally intelligent means staying motivated to work through challenges and investing time and effort into understanding and improving the connection. Empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It's not only about recognizing someone else's emotional state, but also about responding with care, which fosters deeper emotional bonds. Social skills. Strong social skills enable you to build rapport, navigate difficult conversations, resolve conflicts, and maintain healthy interactions. These skills are crucial in creating and sustaining meaningful relationships. How to cultivate emotional intelligence in relationships. Practice active listening. Active listening is a cornerstone of emotional intelligence. Focus on the speaker, listen to their words and emotions, and respond with empathy. This helps you understand their perspective and validates their feelings. Manage stress effectively. High stress levels can impair emotional regulation. Engage in stress-reducing activities, like deep breathing, meditation, or exercise, to maintain emotional balance, especially in challenging situations. Reflect on emotions. Regularly take time to reflect on your emotions and reactions in different situations. Ask yourself why you felt a certain way, and what that emotion says about your needs, values, or fears. This introspection helps improve self-awareness and emotional regulation. Validate others' feelings. When communicating with others, acknowledge their emotions even if you don't fully agree with them. Saying things like, "I understand why you feel that way," or "that must have been really tough," shows empathy and builds trust. The importance of open-mindedness. To unlock the full potential of your relationships, it's important to approach them with an open mind. Being open-minded means being receptive to different perspectives, willing to change your opinions based on new information, and understanding that others may have experiences and values that differ from your own. Open-mindedness promotes understanding and reduces the likelihood of conflicts or misunderstandings. How open-mindedness strengthens relationships. Reduces judgment. When you approach relationships with an open mind, you are less likely to judge others based on their actions or beliefs. Instead of assuming you know everything about someone or a situation, you allow space for new information and differing viewpoints, which fosters a deeper connection. Encourages growth. Open-mindedness encourages mutual growth in relationships. When both people are open to learning from each other, sharing new ideas, and challenging their assumptions, the relationship evolves and strengthens. Improves problem solving. Open-mindedness allows for more creative solutions to problems. In relationships, when both individuals are willing to consider alternative perspectives, they can work together to find solutions that satisfy both parties. How to cultivate open-mindedness in relationships. Avoid assumptions. Instead of assuming you know what someone is thinking or feeling, ask open-ended questions to gain a better understanding of their perspective. Be curious, not judgmental. Challenge your own beliefs. Regularly reflect on your own beliefs and biases. Are there areas where you could expand your thinking? Challenge yourself to embrace new ideas, even if they push you out of your comfort zone. Engage in constructive dialogue. In conversations where opinions differ, focus on respectful and open dialogue. Avoid trying to win the conversation. Instead, listen to understand and be willing to adjust your views based on new information. Applying knowledge to build better relationships. Now that we've explored the foundational elements of unlocking the mind, self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and open-mindedness, it's time to apply this knowledge to your everyday interactions. Here are some practical steps to improve your relationships. 1. Improve communication. Communication is the backbone of all relationships. Make a conscious effort to communicate clearly and empathetically. Pay attention to both verbal and nonverbal cues. Practice active listening, and remain open to others' feedback. 2. Foster mutual respect. Show respect for others' thoughts, feelings, and boundaries. Create an environment where both parties feel heard, valued, and understood. This fosters trust and strengthens the emotional bond between you. 3. Focus on empathy. Practice empathy in your interactions. When you understand the emotions of others and respond with care, it builds trust and connection. Empathy helps you navigate conflicts with sensitivity and compassion. 4. Manage conflict constructively. Conflict is inevitable in any relationship. However, by using emotional intelligence and open-mindedness, you can approach disagreements in a healthy and productive way. Focus on finding solutions, not winning arguments, and ensure that both sides feel heard and respected. 5. Invest in personal growth. The key to better relationships is a commitment to growth both individually and as part of a partnership. Continuously reflect on your own actions, learn from your experiences, and be willing to adapt in order to strengthen your relationships. Conclusion: unlocking the mind is not a one-time achievement, but a continuous journey of self-awareness, emotional growth, and adaptability. When we take the time to understand ourselves and others, manage our emotions effectively, and approach our relationships with an open mind, we create the foundation for deeper, more meaningful connections. These practices not only enhance the quality of our relationships, but also foster a sense of fulfillment, empathy, and respect in our interactions with others. By integrating the principles of self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and open-mindedness into your daily life, you'll be well on your way to unlocking the full potential of your relationships. The power to build stronger, more understanding connections lies within you, and by embracing these tools, you create a path to greater personal and relational growth.